At first, the mountain seems to breathe. A thin ribbon of grey lifts quietly from the summit of Mount Etna, curling into the pale morning sky as though it were nothing more than mist. The air is still, the slopes dark, rugged, ancient hold their silence, but beneath that silence, something stirs. Something deep, restless, and immense. The ribbon thickens. What begins as a whisper becomes a murmur, then a rising voice. The ash plume grows denser, darker, its color shifting from soft gray to charcoal black. It no longer drifts, it surges. A sudden pulse from within the crater sends a powerful column of ash skyward, as if the mountain itself has exhaled after holding its breath for centuries. The ground trembles faintly. A low rumble rolls across the volcanic slopes, not sharp or explosive, but deep and resonant, like distant thunder trapped beneath the earth. The ash cloud climbs higher, towering into the sky in a massive vertical column. It billows outward at the top, forming a vast anvil-shaped canopy that spreads across the horizon, dimming the sunlight below. Time stretches, minutes pass, but the eruption does not fade, it evolves. The plume pulses in waves, each surge feeding the next. Ash particles swirl violently within the column, colliding, rising, and falling in chaotic currents. Occasionally, darker bursts shoot upward from the crater, injecting fresh energy into the cloud. Each burst is a reminder, the mountain is not finished speaking. The sky changes. Sunlight filters through the ash, turning gold, then amber, then an eerie reddish hue. Shadows grow longer and softer. The world beneath the plume feels suspended, as if caught between day and night. Fine ash begins to fall at first, barely noticeable, like drifting dust, but gradually thickening into a soft, persistent rain. It settles on rocks, trees, rooftops, covering everything in a thin veil of grey. Hours unfold. The eruption continues with relentless patience. The column of ash bends with the wind now, stretching across the sky like a dark river in the air. Far from the crater, the plume thins into a hazy veil, but near the source it remains dense and alive, constantly rising, constantly reshaping itself. The sound never truly stops. It deepens and softens, sometimes fading into a distant hum, then swelling again into a rolling growl. It is the voice of pressure being released, of magma shifting far below, of gases escaping from the depths of the earth. It is not a single moment of violence, but an ongoing act, a sustained expression of the planet's inner force. And still, the mountain breathes, even as the intensity begins to ease. The plume lingers, drifting slowly across the sky. The heaviest ash has fallen, but finer particles remain suspended, catching the last light of day. The sun dips toward the horizon, glowing dimly behind the haze, casting the entire scene in muted bronze.